The Great Debaters Contest 2016 registration is now open. Teachers or school administrations should register on www.greatdebaterscontest.com/register.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another great episode of the Great Debaters Contest. We are representing Kakamega region. I am Austin Nyumbok.
And I am Mariam Bishar. Welcome to the show. St. Agnes Girls goes versus St. Peter's Mumias on a matter that is pertinent to everyone in this room. Is the 844 system of education responsible for the increase in exam cheating? We'll have the debaters take the stage now. Proposal number 1, you have 3 minutes.
A warm welcome to today's motion. I'm Kevin Omindo representing the St. Peter's Fraternity. Proposal number 1. We are saying that the 844 system of education is solely responsible for an increase in exam cheating. Why are we saying so? The 844 system, first of all, is a representation of the 8 years in primary, 4 years in secondary, and finally 4 years in high school learning institutions. This was a proposal of Professor McKay in 1982 regarding the success of Kenya academically, which was to wipe up illiteracy, hunger, and of course education. One of the recommendations was that the literacy level has risen up to 87% in Kenya right now, compared to Turkey, which has the same format, 91%. So why is it necessary to have this? Why is it necessary that we say 844 system of education is so responsible for increase in cheating cases? One, we have wide curriculum. This has offset the setting in the examination reports. Why are we saying so? The students have specialized in subjects in which they are based on, thus making them to fail in their examinations due to the 844 system. Another cause for the rise in increase is the laxity of the students. We realize that the 844 system has set a laxity in students that a student has to learn for only 7 years, only to do one paper and for 2 hours that will determine his success or failure. Another thing is the university students. University students right now are just specialized in their papers, in that they all go for first-class honors. And this is a reflection of the 844 system, in that they only go for the quality grades and the papers in their job creation and opportunities. Why are we saying so? This because the 844 system has a false means of acquiring exams in the student fraternity. Lack of vision, mission, and a mission of the 844 system has made an increase in the exam cheating in our country. Lack of vision, which means that the students have only to undergo the system because it's a government requirement. And this forces us to look at the 844 system of education. Going by the facts, we have recorded that in 2014, there are 2,917 students involved in examination irregularities, representing 2.6% of the total population. This is a double increase of 5,000 students in 2015, which makes up to 3.8% due to 844 system of education. We also back and look aside at the counties that were most affected by the examination irregularities in 2015. These included Nyamira County, Kilifi, Kisii, Kwale, Elgeyo Marakwet, and Homa Bay. This transfers to the 844 system of education, which has lacked mission, vision, and ambitions to cater for the exam irregularities in Kenya.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to make your opening statements.
A bell sounds. What information does it communicate? The bell does not only send a message, but it communicates, telling you to change from the activity you are doing to the next activity. Same to the 844 system. It acts like a guideline, saying, hey, you're done with this level, go to the next level and the other level. The 844 system of education was incorporated in 1981 by the President Moi. It was then President Moi again granted the McKay Commission, the McKay who was a Canadian, to investigate more about the system of education, which he investigated and found out that this system was so good and has so many advantages compared to the other system of education. It was also, in the system of education, like the education system, according to the Oxford Dictionary, it states that education is the process of teaching, learning, and acquiring knowledge all the way from primary schools, colleges, and tertiary levels. When you go to the Webster Dictionary, it states that the form of education that is used to to incorporate knowledge in somebody. Again, according to the Star magazine, the Professor Stanley Kamau states that nothing wrong with the 844 system of education. The problem lies with the stakeholders. Let me say this, for example. If I am a parent, I'm given the exam, yes, I'm supposed to deliver the exams to the rest of the pupils. But no, I'm supposed to make this other person who is so incompetent in class to pass. Yes, I do know this other person cannot pass, but I have something that I can give this other person so that he can pass the exam. It's not the system that makes me pass the exam, but it is what I've kept in my mind to make me think that I can use cheating to pass the exam. In as much as you can say the 844 system can make us cheat in examination, in as much as you can say it's tedious, what about the other forms of education? The 7423 that was there before the 844 system was incorporated. You still can cheat using that. It does not mean that using that 844 system can also make you cheat the examination. And also, the main thing that makes you to fail to cheat in the examination is the lack of preparedness. It is not the 844 system that makes you cheat the exam. It is what you have prepared and what you have kept in your mind to make you either succeed or fail. Thank you, Awiti Florence.
Rebuttals now. St. Peter's, you have 3 minutes.
I'm Emmanuel Alconya from St. Peter's Mumias Boys, second speaker on the proposition side. In 2014, there was 2,410 cases of exam cancelling. 2015, there were 5,000 cases of exam cancelling, a rise by 70%. All this is under the 844 system. Therefore, the 844 system is not credible for this particular case. And what am I trying to say? That the 844 system has a wide curriculum that is overburdening students. Why am I saying this? Take, for example, physics as a subject. It has about 37 topics. And over these 37 topics, 2/3 of them have principles that must be set. And about only 2 of them will be set per paper, and there are 2 papers. What am I saying? We are overburdening students within this wide curriculum that is under the 844 system. 844 system will enhance cheating because these students might not have prepared themselves very well because of overburdening. We're looking at the second case, which is 844 system has underinvestment in education. What am I saying? We have seen in multiple cases, teachers have been known to fail in the same exams they were preparing their students for. The teachers therefore have no faith in their capacity to prepare the students for the exams, and the students have no faith in themselves. The effect of this scenario is that neither the student nor the teacher is confident in this particular exam. The students nor the teachers are confident. What am I saying? Is that the students will be obliged to cheat because their teachers have not prepared them for this particular exam. There's overburdening according to the wide curriculum that is given under the 844 system. There's also laxity because the 844 system, you look at a case that the 844 system, somebody might study 8 years only to do one particular exam, might study 4 years to only to partake one exam. The student studies a lot to be tested by one exam which will define his future. Why struggle? The end can justify the means. What am I saying? That if I can be able to just study the last year and then I can cheat in this particular exam that I'm taking, I am lax. I don't have to study much if I can cheat in this particular exam the last year. After all, there is no continuous assessment that is recorded. Therefore, I can cheat. 4, it measures on academic prowess. Top performers are praised. We can see this. And poor performers are demonized. I might not be an A student in my academic prowess, but however, I am an A student in a particular sport, like rugby, like basketball. If we can let this particular child will have to cheat to attain a particular grade that will allow him to partake a course so that he can be able to perform well in this particular sport that he is undertaking. Therefore, if this 844 system is not credible, what do? We get an action plan to retain its credibility, its genuineness, its integrity. What am I saying? The system should be adjusted for students to specialize in particular subjects. The students will be taught subjects based on their careers, their skills, polishing exam administration system to average term results and curb laxity. Therefore, I finalize by saying, when you want to kill a tree, you don't cut its branches. You go for the roots. The 844 system is the root.
Opposition will hear your rebuttal.
Just as the first speaker said, the 844 system is just like a guideline to guide you to know that you're from primary 8 years and direct you to secondary for 4 years and direct you to the university. There's one person who said that it is the 844 system that is making people cheat. Do we look at it from the perspective that it is the 844 system making people cheat? I'd rather not look at it from that perspective. I look at it from this perspective, that is lack of preparedness from both the teachers and the students. Let's take, for example, when you enter Form 1, the first thing you're told is that at the end of the 4-year course, you'll have to sit for exams. And at Form 2 level, you choose subjects and you do only 8 subjects at the end of it. And when you choose them, I believe you choose subjects that you're so sure you are prepared for them. And it's just the same way. We look at it from the pressure perspective. The principal receives pressure from the society. The teachers receive pressure from the principal. The teachers, in turn, put pressure on the student. So really, is it the 844 system leading to cheating in exams, or do we blame it on the pressure from the society? Because everyone wants results. And of course, with these results, I'll have to exert pressure on other person. And by exerting that pressure, I mean you'll have to work extra hard. I mean you'll have to look for other means so that you get to that grade. It doesn't matter how, because as they said, this is Charles Darwin, survival for the fittest. And you just have to survive in one way or another. It doesn't matter how. Then there's class differences of school. Of course, when we are in primary school, everyone strives to go to a good school, because you're sure when you go to a good school, you'll have better infrastructure, you'll have better learning opportunities, you'll have everything that it takes to pass the exam. Other than that child who'll fail exams and go to some local school where sometimes a laboratory is an expense, where they don't even get to see the laboratory. It is just a headache for them. They have to sometimes borrow from other schools to get to that laboratory. And yet, we expect that person not to cheat. Of course, I'll be forced to do something else outside there to get to where I'm supposed to be. I'll have to strive, whether it is getting leakage, but I'll still have to get that result. So do we really blame the 844 system on that? And I believe the cheating in exams is just a matter of moral decay. Remember, charity begins at home. Maybe you start from your place and you never went there. So don't really put the blame on the 844 system. Other, question you and I. What are we doing to contribute to the cheating? Thank you.
The Great Debaters Contest 2016 registration is now open. Teachers or school administrations should register on www.greatdebaterscontest.com/register. The Great Debaters Contest 2016 registration is now open. Teachers or school administrations should register on www.greatdebaterscontest.com/register.
Thank you, audience. The proposers have been challenged to give an alternative to the 844 system of education that would not result in exam irregularities. And the opposition have been asked, would it not be better if the 844 system allowed people to choose subjects that are geared towards their future career as opposed to 8 subjects? And then we'll have them respond. Proposal number 3, you have 3 minutes.
Brighton Olumbe from St. Peter's, proposal number 3. In response to your question, you're asking for an alternative, another way. In short, you're asking for our action plan. What are we planning? We want to copy the campus way of life, whereby we have a continuous assessment test. People don't have that main exam, the do or die thing. If I fail in this exam, let me ask you a question. Why should you study for 8 years only to be defined by an exam, a single paper, which will only sit for 2 hours? Your whole future is depending on a paper which will only sit for 2 hours. Now, our action plan is that let's have a system whereby we have institutions where students are learning according to their career choices. For instance, let's say St. Peter's Boys High School, we become a school of arts. If you want to do music, go to St. Peter's Mumias Boys High School. After a period of time, you'll be given a continuous assessment test. If you fail this one, we are copying the campus way of life. If you fail this test, you'll go to another test, whereby when you fail again, when you pass that one, you'll take a retake for the exam you failed. Now, that way, we will reduce cheating by a very large amount. You were talking about a bell, sounding a bell. It will, for the next activity. Why should you, do you know, you study for 12 years, only to get a single paper. What if you fail? No, you'll go nowhere. So, cheating on a single exam will not pinch that much. A single exam won't pinch that much. What if I just stay at home, come to school and do a main exam, and I'm done? I get a job, I become a doctor. This doctor is through false papers. I go kill someone. What am I trying to say? We need a system where this final examination won't be there. That is, the final examination is under the 844 system, whereby you finish class 8, you are given a KCPE. You finish Form 4, you are given a KCSE. And then you can't get to this campus without passing Form 4 or class 8. So I'm looking for a system whereby we don't appreciate this exam thing, the main exam, the KCP, the KCSE. We have continuous assessment test where there's room for retake. You fail, you move on, you come back, you do your retake, you move on. So these people, when they finish their education, they'll have content. I want to give you an example. I have a book. The book has notes. What will happen if I ban this book? I will lose my all notes. Now, in short, neck is the book. Every point they're speaking about the pressure from students, it's all because of this system. If we scrap this system off and bring in my action plan, now without this system, we won't have the problems you're talking about. This will work. Because of that, how I wish you sit down, do some research, and debate. I rest my case.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to respond.
Perpetual Yvonne from the St. Agnes Girls. The essence of learning the 8 subjects is to make you an all-round student. Come to think of it. If you could only specialize in one subject, yes, maybe you could only specialize in something like physics. In the electronic matters, wow, you'll be excellent, you will be good. But what about in the other sectors? And remember, you're not only going to base in one sector in this economy, in the country today. You're supposed to be an all-round person for you to fit in the society today. And talking about 844 system, I guess most people don't understand it. They think that we're only talking about the primary and the secondary level. And come to think of it, the tertiary institutions are also involved. People cheat all the way, not only in the national examinations, but there's some people who still cheat even in the internal examinations. So, are we going to put the blame on the system, or it is the individuals who are doing it? And we go back to the point saying that it is the moral decay in the society that is making the cheating to be rampant. When the system was introduced around 1985, we don't have solid evidence that there was not cheating then. But if it was there, it was really minimal. But look at the cheating rates now. Cheating is very rampant in the society today. If it was the system then, cheating would have begun as early as 1985, but cheating has only become rampant in the recent years. Why? We go back to the reason. Pressure all around. Everybody has expectations about me. Everybody wants me to be somewhere in the society. I want that scholarship. For me to qualify for that scholarship, I need a B+. My capability is only a B-. I have to get the scholarship. Whichever means there are, I'll have to get the scholarship. So, there's only one mean possible. The teachers are pressuring me. My parents are pressuring me. The whole society is pressuring me. So what do? And there is cheating. I go to the cheating, and that falls back. It's the pressure that we get and not the system itself. It's the external pressure from outside that is making the cheating, not the system. If the NEC was disbanded, it is very simple. It is because of the people making up the system. It is because of the moral decay that was there, that has made the cheating rampant, but not the system itself, because we are the people making the system. It is the society out there that is making up the system. So if we have to cast any blame on cheating, then I guess we should start pointing fingers at ourselves. We are the first problem. We are the roots of the cheating and not the council and not the 844 system, because the system has got nothing to do with it. The system is there as a guideline, as something that you're supposed to follow. It's there to tell you this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be doing A and not B. You're supposed to be doing C and not D. So it's up to us. Let us look back and see what the problem is. Perpetual Yvonne, thank you.
We'll hear final submissions. Proposition, you have 1 minute.
I want surface on the floor to give the final round to the proposer's side. We and our action plan, we had gone ahead to state that the 844 system is solely responsible for the rampant exam cheating exam. Therefore, we decided that the body should do something in order to minimize this cheating. That the body should come up with visions, mission and ambitions. Why should we form a body, a system of education that does not have these three qualities? Then all the things are null and void. We must acknowledge academic as well as talented students. The 844 system in its regards is not doing as far as our expectations in its acknowledgement of the talented students, thus focusing on the academic giants. Third, we said that they should abolish ranking of schools. Despite having the mass media under the progress, we are looking at the minimum ways in which the 844 system can abolish ranking. Due to those reasons, we strongly feel that the proposition side has made the day, and what belongs to Caesar should be given to him. Thank you.
Opposition, you have 1 minute for your final submission.
In a certain school recently, doing a joint examination, they ended up copying. And the funny part is that they ended up writing wrong answers. And it is just a joint examination, not KCSE, not KCP, or not the final exam at the university. But still, we blame the 844 system. And looking at the 844 system, and according to the explanation that would be given, it seems the 844 system only bases on the final exams. So I'm asking myself, is this joint exam also a final exam? Yet, people are still cheating. I believe it is not. Remember, we are all human, and a human being is bound to have weaknesses. So I look at the 844 system as a guide, and I take that the reasons for cheating are such as moral decay, the pressure we get, and all the negative issues. But let us not blame the guide that is guiding us, because the 844 system is just trying to build a nation for us. Thank you. Sandra Lukaji.
One of the questions that I had, and I was hoping that the proposers do, is to provide an action plan or solutions to this. And I think I got excited when Emmanuel came up and said, so what is the solution to this? What are we proposing? And that was my aha moment. I got excited because I was like, there, they have it. The only challenge that I have with some of the solutions that you're proposing is that they're actually part of the system. Because when you say that you want us to adopt the system in universities where, assessment is not based on the final exam, if you look at the university system, a large percentage of the final score is actually pegged on the final exam, which in most cases carries 60 to 70%. And as a result of that, then it doesn't solve the problem. And when you're looking at the 844 system, I think what was missing across the teams is looking at the 844 system in totality. I think the assumption is that after high school, you're not dealing with the 844 system. We are still dealing with it in universities as well. And then, of course, some of the action plans, coming up with a vision and a mission. Are you saying, and I think this was Brighton, that we do not have, the 844 system has no vision or mission? It actually has. So some of the solutions that you're providing are a little abstract, and you needed to nail it down on what is it that, would actually solve this. And what are the implications of some of the things that you are suggesting? To the opposers, I think you did brilliantly well, telling us, that it's not the 844 system. It's society, it's pressure, it's whatever it is that's happening around us that then influences whatever it is that's happening in the schools. You did well. But as I said, that you needed to have pointed us towards success studies and how this 844 system has positively impacted society, particularly when you talk about the fact that it produces well-rounded graduates or well-rounded people. Are there examples of those people that we can actually emulate? And that's why I was asking whether they are products of the 844 system. If you think they are good examples of that particular education system. All the best to the two schools.
The scores are tight. St. Agnes girls, you have 69%. Please give them a round of applause. St. Peter's Mumias, you have 71%, making you the winners.
I believe congratulations are in order for the teams on stage. And thank you, our studio audience, for being with us, and our viewers back home. Keep talking, keep engaging us on Twitter at Great Debaters EA. I am your host, Austin Nyumbok.
And I am Mariam Bishar. Thank you for watching.
The Great Debaters Contest 2016 registration is now open. Teachers or school administrations should register on www.greatdebaterscontest.com/register.